Hey everyone. So, a little bit more about who I am and where I'm coming from. I am originally from Canada, so Calgary, Alberta, where I went to high school in Chestermere, and then I went to U of L, so University of Lethbridge, for a little bit. And I also went to SAIT, so Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, where I studied business administration, majoring in marketing. And then I actually competed on a bunch of different business competitions nationally, so across Canada, and loved it. So competed as well as coached. So business is really important to me. I really love that side of things and making businesses a little bit more inclusive and accessible and making them more innovative. I really, really love it. But then I kind of went in a different direction. So I worked on the student association at the campus that I was on at SAIT as the events planner. So for student life, making it more exciting and more involved and educating in different ways. And I absolutely loved that job. So doing things like pride awareness, sexual health awareness, domestic violence, even financial awareness, like everything in between. It was just such a cool job. And a colleague and I actually ended up opening a mental health student support center on campus, which was incredible. Such an amazing experience. And I think that's where my interest in mental health really started, was that student experience and just how hard it can be and how intense and overwhelming that whole thing can be. So when we opened this center, I worked with some incredible people. We networked with different organizations and became allies in a lot of different arenas and communities. And that was really empowering for me to see the different intersectionalities that occur and the underrepresentation of a lot. So to see that, it really sparked a lot of curiosity in me. So from there, I actually ended up going back to school for holistic nutrition. This was when I was getting a lot more into the yoga side of things as well. So practicing a lot, changing the way that I was eating, changing my relationship with food. And when I started going down that track, I actually started changing my whole relationship to myself. So I got into things like I discovered Reiki, and I got into things that typically I wouldn't look to, like chakra clearing and all of these different things that I was like, okay, what else is out there? What am I missing? What don't I know about? So I dove in head first. I wanted to try a little bit of everything. I'm very multi-passionate, as many of you know. And within that, I just discovered this whole new world. And I took pieces of everything to kind of makeshift my own faith, really. So I took pieces that worked for me and I left things that didn't resonate. And I kind of started making my own life and stepping into this power that I now know to be true for me. And that was kind of the moment where I realized that that's what it's about. It's about figuring out what's good and true for us, listening to others and learning from others and hearing their wisdom, but really noticing what resonates deeply, really connecting with that side of things. So from there, I ended up working a bunch of different jobs. I started my first business. I went into a bunch of different avenues and ventures and passions, and then I started traveling a little bit more and experiencing more of the world for myself. Ended up moving to New Zealand eventually. Lots happened in between there, but ended up in New Zealand in 2016, which was a wild, wild ride. From there, I started doing more workshops and trainings in the alternative healing side of things and dove into different aspects and modalities of that. Eventually, I did my trauma sensitive yoga training is what I'm trying to say there. Ended up doing that and really, really loved it. And there was a lot that I learned in that teaching that not only healed and helped me understand me, but also let me understand others and the connection that we have with other people and the communities that we're in and the intersectionalities that occur and what that all looks like. So when I dove into that a little bit more, it really changed the direction of my business and it changed the direction of my own personal journey and the way that I handle things and the directions that I'm going. And from there, I started another business, and that's what eventually turned into the Self Agency Academy. So, bringing all of it together so that I can hold spaces for people to go on kind of that deep dive into themselves and really do it in a safe, inclusive, and accessible place where they can be curious and ask questions, but really figure out what it means for them. So we talk about things like felt sense and intuition and figuring out what that looks like and how we can put it into practice so that it can further inform on boundaries that we set and how we actually show up and communicate our needs and our wants. So all of these things make up who I am. Avid reader. I will always have a book on my side table. At least there's like 3 over there right now. I love drinking tea. I'm a dog lover. I love to be in nature, walking, healing in that way, hiking, camping, anything like that. I love to be around friends and family, and I really love connecting with new people and learning at the feet of others and really figuring out where they came from and what they have to impart and the knowledge and the wisdom that they have so that I can continue to be a student and to learn and to grow. So that's a long kind of nutshell of who I am, and there's so much more, but that's kind of the basics of where I'm coming from, how all of these things came together. And as we spend more time together, you'll start to learn little bits more and where it is that I'm headed. And I'm really excited to see how your journey unfolds as well.